For far too long, the American people have trusted the experts to make good decisions for this country. But as it turns out, the experts tend to be wrong an awful lot. And then, of course, the mainstream media wonders why the heck the American people don't trust them anymore. And that's exactly what's being discussed today over on CNBC with Charlie Kirk. But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Would you ultimately like a more a country that's genuinely brought together, that trusts what's happening, that feels that everything is credible, that there's a coming together? I assume you want that.
Of course, but in a post-COVID,
how could that ever happen with the left?
World, yeah, and again,
how could that ever happen with the left or the right?
I think I totally agree, and I would just say, look, in a post-COVID world,
I'm just an idealist to believe that.
Hold on, Andrew.
You're not the left. You're not intolerant.
You know where I'm going with this. Yeah. We did not receive any apologies from the ruling class that lied to us repeatedly during COVID. The lockdowns, the efficacy of the vaccine, the mask mandates, school closures, and we just act as if it didn't happen. And I don't think the American ruling class understands the undermining of their credibility that happened when the entire country had their lives thwarted, especially young people. We're just supposed to reopen the country and be like, well, why don't you trust us anymore? Well, it's because, the Hunter Biden laptops, right. Russian disinformation, 50 intel operations signed this letter. No, and I'm making a good point here, because there was no contrition.
That's just one example.
And again, I could go one after the other.
No. I would say that actually COVID, to me, I mean, this is actually generational, is actually very much like the 2008 crisis in a way. Okay, that spawned Occupy Wall Street. This has sort of spawned a different sort of political.
Do you want to do Russian collusion? Do you want to do the laptop? Do you want to do? I mean, take your pick on the way things are covered in this country.
All I'm suggesting, though, is this full-on, constant relitigation of what took place in the past, as opposed to a clear-eyed view of what's happening now.
I would just interject respectfully that it's not just relitigation. First of all, no one was held accountable largely for what happened.
That's why I said it's sort of like 2008, because a lot of people thought all those bankers were supposed to go to jail, frankly.
Well, and honestly, there should have been. I think there should have been some administration of justice. That's a separate issue. I was young at the time. I can only speak about what we're living through now. And a lot of the COVID injustices we are still seeing today with younger people and their ability to own homes, with the inflation that President Trump is trying to fix that was inherited by Joe Biden. So what I'm getting at, and I know a lot of the C-suite of America watches this program, they might understand, where is this populist fervor coming from, is that you have missed the mark on so many of the core proclamations you made to the American people.
Explain to me then the ascension of Mamdani.
Well, it's very, because Mamdani can be easily explained.
Could be cathartic. We need to go through this like once every 25 years.
I hope you're right.
Let's just hope nobody dies, because that's what usually happens with communism.
Mamdani can be best understood as the people that voted for him are actually more college educated than they are working class. But I think it's all driven by economic anxiety. I think it's people that don't own stuff.
I think it's driven by 700,000 people in a city of 8 million.
Populism,
that's right.
My worry about populism is, and this is true on both sides of the populist situation, that effectively voters get lied to. They get lied to about what the politicians can actually do for them. That's what populism actually is.
But the technocrats have been lying to us. It's not like this idea that populists are going to lie. President Trump's the one that's actually kept his promises. He said he was going to secure the border, and he did. He said he was going to appoint the people the Supreme Court did. But I would just say, beyond Mamdaniism, the thing I want to caution your audience is you're going to get Maggioniism. You're going to get one-off, violent targeting of people with money if we do not rebuild the American middle class. He's also recalibrated the way that we are financing the government. And a lot of the experts would say, hey, if you have any tariffs at all, and just to push back a little bit, it's not just the 145% tariff. They said, hey, if you have a 10% tariff, we're going to see massive inflation. If you have a 20%, we've now had 90 days of tariffs in place across the board. And the report yesterday, and the market responded, because the market doesn't lie. The inflation just wasn't there. The structural inflation was not there. And if it comes in the next couple months, then obviously we'll correct it. But the prices have not raised.
There really is a dichotomy of people in this country. Half the people, maybe not half, but there are a lot of people that look at Trump and say, you know what? I think he's a negotiator. I've seen what he's done in the past. I think that he knows what he's doing.
Look, the question from an economic perspective on tariffs is you may collect the tariff on one end, and the question is what happens to the real economy on the other end.
And so far we have not seen.
And so far we haven't seen it yet.
It was a major, catastrophic prediction, right? The Panicans, the whole world's going to fall apart. And we just haven't seen that. And I think there does need to be a little contrition by the economic ruling class, like, hey, back when we were saying this was going to be the worst thing for the global markets ever, it turns out what it has done is it recentered America as the center point of the world economy. This is a guy that goes to work every single day and produces wins for the American people. And look, real wages are up this year for working people, $1,100. We just saw the report that we're starting to see crude go down a little bit, and we need that definitely to have energy prices go down. Capital expenditures are going up, which is a leading prerequisite for economic growth. And I get all the objections. I just want to say one final thing, though, is that I think that we need to rework our mental model when it comes to Donald Trump, especially in people that are running companies, because they're looking too much on the flow on X, and they're not looking at the macroeconomic geopolitical victory that President Trump is driving every single day, which is recentering America as the forefront leader of the world economy.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Donald Trump producing wins for America, right? Whether it's through trade deals or whether it's through good economic data, Donald Trump has been doing what he's promised. Okay, but of course, when we talk about trust in the system, what everyone needs to realize is that COVID was actually integral in getting people to turn away from having this blind trust in the government and all the people that were getting everything wrong. When a whole lot of folks figured out that, oh, there's no rhyme or reason for all of these weird COVID rules and lockdowns. The vaccine was not really effective. And of course, followed up with the idea that no one's really been held accountable for every single thing they got wrong. Yes, it makes perfect sense that folks would turn away from the system. However, what's the result of that? Well, one result would be the win of Donald Trump in 2024, right? When so many people turned against the establishment and went for Donald Trump because they remembered how successful he was economically back in 2016, all right? But then you have the other path. What is a blue state to do? They're not going to vote for Donald Trump. Instead, they're going to go even more left. They're going to go for Mamdani because he's actually promising a whole bunch of free stuff for people at the expense of folks who actually work for a living. And in New York City, where you have the top earners paying 50% of everything they make in taxes when you combine federal, local, etc., all right, how much is enough? And of course, the answer from Mamdani is that it's never enough, right? We can never take enough of your wealth because we have so many people to provide for. But of course, getting back to the economics, it's the experts who have been wrong consistently, right? Inflation is not increasing. As a matter of fact, it's coming in underneath what the experts thought it would be, right? You have the price of energy actually dropping. And this, of course, could be the beginning of the next economic boom. We will have to wait and see. Hopefully, we'll see some good job numbers coming out soon. Hopefully, we'll see even more investment in America. And hopefully, we'll see all these trade deals being finalized so it's not weighing on the minds of investors. And hopefully, all of these economic experts will stop being taken seriously by so many people, especially when they continue to be wrong about everything. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.